Last night, The Late Show with Stephen Colbert turned into an emotional roller coaster when Representative Jasmine Crockett, the fierce Texas congresswoman, broke down in tears on live TV after a fiery confrontation with the host that spiraled into one of the most gripping moments in late-night history, leaving viewers stunned, social media ablaze. Sources say what started as a bold interview, with Crockett defending her record, her passion, quickly erupted into a heated clash, with Colbert's relentless jabs pushing her to a raw, tearful edge nobody expected. Before we unpack this wild drama, let me know where you're watching from in the comments. Hit subscribe for more jaw-dropping stories like this. Crockett, a former lawyer turned political dynamo, walked onto the set with her trademark fire, ready to talk her district's struggles, her fight in Congress, but Colbert came out swinging, opening with a sharp jab. "Jasmine, you're all passion, but is it just noise, or do you have results?" The quip, edged with sarcasm, landed hard, and insiders say the audience sensed it, some chuckling, others tensing, as Crockett smiled tightly. "I'm here for my people, Stephen, not your snark." The sparks flew early. Colbert played a clip of Crockett's latest viral House speech, tearing into opponents with razor-sharp words, her voice fierce, unyielding. "That's a showstopper," he said, smirking. "But is it leadership, or just a performance for the cameras?" Crockett fired back, her tone steady. "It's leadership you wouldn't grasp, Stephen. I fight real battles. You toss jokes." The crowd splitting, some cheering, others murmuring, as producers watched, noting the segment veering off script, the tension simmering, ready to boil. What's got everyone buzzing isn't just the exchange, it's how fast it turned raw. Crockett refused to play the polished guest, leaning in. "You don't know my struggle, Stephen. You sit pretty while I grind." And Colbert struck back. "Grind? You're grandstanding, Jasmine, all heat, no light," his jab digging at her record, her style. Sources say the room shifted. Crockett's eyes flashed, the audience buzzing, some gasping, others shouting, as the clash took a personal turn, with insiders noting Colbert's grin sharpened. He saw an opening, and Crockett's resolve was about to crack, the night just starting to unravel. The fiery confrontation on The Late Show with Stephen Colbert last night roared into high gear as Representative Jasmine Crockett, Texas's bold congresswoman, faced off against the host, with Stephen Colbert unleashing a salvo of biting taunts. That turned a tense interview into a scorching battle, leaving the studio charged, producers on edge, the clash racing toward an emotional peak that's already sending shockwaves online. Sources say after Crockett called out Colbert's cushy perch, the host fired back with ferocity, setting the stage for a showdown that wouldn't let up. Colbert, his smirk widening, honed in on Crockett's record. "Grandstanding, Jasmine? Your district's still struggling. Where's the win?" His voice sharp, accusing, as he flashed a graphic poverty stats from her area. Stark, unflattering. The crowd reacting fast, some murmuring, others laughing, while Crockett's jaw tightened. "Wins take time, Stephen. I'm fighting a system. You prop up, not me." Her retort fierce, steady, drawing cheers. "Boos" from the divided audience, the tension thickening with every exchange. The host pressed harder, pivoting to her style. "Fighting, or yelling, Jasmine. You're loud, but is it empty, just hot air for votes?" Sources say Crockett's eyes narrowed, her voice rising. "Hot air? I'm real, Stephen. I've lived the struggle. You mock it from your ivory tower." The comeback, raw, personal, the crowd erupting, some shouting, "Tell him," others jeering as producers whispered, "She's pushing," their headsets humming, the segment slipping further from control, the air crackling. What fueled the blaze wasn't just the jabs, it was Crockett's fire. Insiders report she leaned forward. "You don't get my pain, Stephen. I carry my people. You carry a script." Her tone cutting, unyielding, and Colbert pounced. "Pain? You're playing it, Jasmine. A sob story for clout. His words ruthless, stinging, the audience splitting wider, some chanting, Jasmine, Jasmine, others laughing, with phones filming, X-posts surging. Crockett's heated. One read, racking up likes. As the clash turned brutal, the stakes soaring. The studio pulsed with heat. Sources say Crockett's hands gripped the chair. I'm not your prop, Stephen. I'll call you out every time. Her voice loud, trembling, and Colbert struck back. Call me out? You're crumbling, Jasmine. Look at you. Pointing at her tense frame, the crowd roaring, some standing, others yelling, while producers signaled a break, their hands waving. But Crockett pushed on. I'm not crumbling. You're nothing. To me. Her defiance shaking, the chaos swelling, with insiders noting, she's close to breaking, the night barreling toward a tearful, fiery edge. The Late Show with Stephen Colbert reached a shattering climax last night as Representative Jasmine Crockett, Texas's fierce congresswoman, broke down in tears on live TV. After a fiery confrontation with Stephen Colbert pushed her past her limits, turning the studio into a storm of emotion, the audience into a frenzy, the segment into a raw, unfiltered collapse that's now etched in viral history. Sources say Crockett's trembling defiance after vowing to call Colbert out met the host's merciless push, sparking a sobbing unraveling that nobody could stop, the night's most gripping moment. Colbert, his grin cold, sharpened his assault. Crumbling, Jasmine. Your fight's loud, but it's falling flat. His voice biting, cruel, as he flashed a mock clip. Crockett's speeches looped with boos, a staged jab at her clout, the crowd reacting hard, some laughing, others gasping, while Crockett's face twitched. Falling flat? I'm standing for people, Stephen. You're the flat one. Her voice loud, cracking, the audience splitting, cheers clashing with jeers as producers watched, hands waving, the live feed holding, chaos brewing. The host struck deeper. Standing? You're shaking, Jasmine. Your tears are coming. We see it. His jab vicious, personal, and Crockett tried to rally. I'm not shaking. I'm strong. You don't know my heart. Her words fierce, but her eyes glistened, betraying her, with Colbert pouncing. Heart? You're breaking, Jasmine. Right here. Live. Look at you. Pointing at her trembling lips, the crowd erupting, some chanting, Leave her! Others shouting, Keep going! As phones filmed, X-posts surging, Crockett's cracking, one read, trending fast. Crockett's voice broke. I've fought harder than you'll ever know. Her hands slamming the desk, tears welling, rolling down, a hush rippling through. The breakdown stunned the room. Insiders say Crockett swiped at her face. I'm not crying for you, Stephen. It's for them. Her denial raw, choked, as tears streamed, while Colbert leaned in. Them? You're sobbing for yourself, Jasmine, undone on my stage. His taunt relentless, the audience surging, some standing, filming, others yelling, with clips hitting X instantly. Crockett in tears, one read, racking up shares, another showing her sob. Colbert broke her, going viral, millions watching. Crockett sobbed. You're cruel. I'm real. Her voice shaking, hands trembling, but the tears kept falling, her strength cracking live. What sealed the chaos was her collapse. Sources report she stood, wobbling. I don't need this. You're heartless. Her voice a mix of rage, sobs, as she ripped off her mic, tossing it, the thud echoing while Colbert laughed. Heartless? You're the mess, Jasmine. Go cry it out. His words final, brutal, the crowd roaring, some rushing the stage, others chanting, Get her off, as security hovered, producers screaming, Cut it, cut it. But the feed stayed live, her breakdown unfiltered. Online, reactions flooded. She's human, one post read, Colbert's savage. Another claimed as the tears became the story. with her exit looming, the night's end a fireball still blazing. The Late Show with Stephen Colbert plunged into raw turmoil last night as Representative Jasmine Crockett, Texas's embattled congresswoman, staggered off the set in tears after a fiery confrontation with Stephen Colbert broke her live on air, ending with a sobbing departure that left the studio reeling. Viewers gripped, the internet buzzing with viral fallout. Sources say Crockett's emotional collapse after calling Colbert heartless met the host's final taunt, sparking a tear-soaked exit that turned a clash into a spectacle. The night's chaos hitting a shattering close. Crockett, tears streaming, stood shaking. "I don't need this. You're heartless." Her voice cracked, raw, as she yanked her mic off, hurling it to the floor, the crash ringing out, while Colbert leaned back, smirking. "Go cry it out. Jasmine, you're done." His command sharp, victorious. The crowd exploding, some cheering, "Out, out!" Others pleading, "Let her stay!" As security stepped in, hands ready, while Crockett sobbed, "You'll never break me." Her words weak, fading, as she turned, stumbling toward the exit, tears glistening under the lights. The audience lost control. Insiders say some surged forward, phones flashing, filming Crockett's retreat. Others shouted, "She's real," while a few chanted, "Weak, weak." The room a clash of noise, with producers stunned, their headsets quiet. "She's leaving," one whispered, the live feed holding, capturing her hunched figure slipping off stage. Colbert seized the moment, standing, "There she goes, folks, tears and all," his voice booming, mocking, drawing roars, laughter, the chaos swelling, some tossing cups, others live streaming, the energy wild, unhinged. What made this exit wrenching wasn't just the tears. It was Crockett's fall. Sources report her defiance crumbled. "I'm still standing," she muttered, barely audible as security trailed, guiding her out, while Colbert waved, "Standing? You're crawling, Jasmine, bye-bye." His parting shot cruel. The crowd splitting wider, cheers clashing with boos, with X lighting up, clips of Crockett's tearful dash trending. "She's gone," one post read, racking up likes. Another, showing her mic toss, "Colbert wins," going viral, millions watching the breakdown loop. Insiders say producers wavered, some pushing to cut, others soaking in the ratings surge. The chaos too big to tame. The aftermath landed hard. Crockett's team went silent. Sources hint she wept backstage. "He's a monster," her voice trembling. But the damage was done, her fire doused in tears, while Colbert reveled. "That's how you handle a fighter," he quipped, sitting down, the crowd still buzzing, some rushing the stage, others filming. As security cleared the wings, the night's end ablaze. Online, the story flipped. Crockett crushed. One thread read, "Colbert's king." Another claimed, with analysts noting, "He played her ruthless." The host's triumph locked. The fallout set to roar on. A storm nobody could quench. The fallout from Representative Jasmine Crockett's tearful breakdown on The Late Show with Stephen Colbert last night has erupted into a tidal wave of reaction, with the Texas Congresswoman's fiery clash, sobbing exit turning a live TV confrontation into a national firestorm, leaving Crockett reeling, Colbert reigning, the internet, airwaves buzzing with takes that won't fade. Sources say what began as a bold stand ended with Crockett's emotional collapse, her walk off a viral moment. The clash's aftermath reshaping her image, late night's edge, in real time. Crockett's retreat hit like a thunderclap. Insiders report she staggered backstage, tears flowing. "He's ruthless," her voice broken, shaky, as aides rushed her out, dodging cameras, while X exploded, her tweet, "I cried for my people, not him," posted later, pulling 120,000 likes, but swamped by replies. "You cracked, Jasmine," one read, trending fast, with clips of her sobs, mic toss looping millions of times. Crockett down. A viral thread claimed memes of her wet face captioned, "Tears of Texas, flooding TikTok, beyond." Supporters rallied. "She's human, he's cruel," one post begged, but the tide surged, her strength image fractured. Colbert's camp rode the wave. Sources say his next show opened with, "We had a fighter. She brought tears. I brought the heat." His quip smug, victorious, pulling record ratings, a 50% spike, snagging viewers hooked on the drama, while insiders hint he's gloating. Crockett thought she'd win. I broke her. His team buzzing, eyeing more bold plays, with analysts noting, he owned it, though some whisper, next guest might bite back. The win edged with risk. The crowd's roar echoed, "Colbert! Colbert!" ringing online, locking his dominance tighter. The internet split wide open. Crockett's base mourned. "They ambushed her, she's gold," one X-post read, racking up shares, while critics feasted. "Congress crybaby." Another hit viral status, with debates raging. Was it fair? Trending. Clips of her breakdown dissected. "She snapped," one pundit said. "Colbert played her perfect." Another added, predicting a PR hit. Her district shaken, calls flooding, some urging, "Stay strong," others doubting. Sources say Crockett's hunkered down, plotting with talk of a rebuttal. Maybe a rival hit, her silence loud, the tears a wound that's sticking. The ripple effects are massive, late nights rattled. Experts call it a pivot. Colbert rewrote the game, or shattered it, one said. Networks weighing bolder bookings, or tighter control. Risking fade if they misstep, while viewers divide, half cheer. He crushed a titan, half cringe. Too harsh. The clash a marker. Crockett's fall, Colbert's peak, carved in viral stone. This isn't over, it's a spark. Crockett's comeback, Colbert's next move, set to blaze. So stay locked in. If you're hooked on this madness, smash that subscribe button now. Don't miss the next fire.